Well, hello, my name's Louise Savage of Louise Savage Muses. A very warm welcome to my channel if this is your first time viewing my musings, and an equally warm welcome back if you have visited my channel before. So Simon Savage of Savage Reads and I have just unboxed the Women's Prize for Fiction Longlist 2024. It's been really exciting. I absolutely love the fact that Simon hadn't come across most of these books and certainly hasn't read any of them, and I certainly haven't read any either. So we're in quite an unusual position this year, because normally he's read at least a few of them and occasionally I've read the odd one. So I have snuck back into his library and I have the Women's Prize beautiful pile of 16 long-listed books here down on the floor by me. And there was mention in our video together of the idea of maybe just judging them on their opening lines. Just thought it might be quite an interesting thing to do, and also partly to sort of help me decide, because I may not be able to read the whole of the long list, so it might be part of my decision as to which ones to read and which ones not to initially, because I'm going to have to be a bit more picky than usual. So I've put them in alphabetical order, I think, of author. So the first one up is Hangman by Binyam, and I'm literally just going to look at the opening line and see whether it draws me in. I do love the cover though. So the opening line of Hangman is... now I've already read this one out, I remember. In the morning, I received a phone call and was told to board a flight. Now, I like that because it's the word told, not I boarded a flight or I went to board a flight, but you've got the idea that somebody else is, whoever this narrator is, someone else is kind of controlling or responsible for their actions. So that, I think, is a really, that I'm drawn into that. I would pick that up. If I was in a bookshop, I would pick that up and read it quite quickly. Next up, we have In Defence of the Act by Effie Black. So what is the first line of this novel? Very similar colour scheme look to the other one. Ta-da! But what's the first line? Okay. Oh, now it starts with a title. It's A Fable. A Fable. The blonde woman, who I'm pretty sure said her name is Amy, but who doesn't really look like an Amy, more like an Anna, peers out at us in our rows. Now, again, that's enticing, because rows of what? You know, where are they? Are they on a plane? Are they in a schoolroom? It's clear she doesn't know who she or he doesn't know who the blonde woman is. The decisions that the narrator's making about who they're looking at. I do like it when we start in the middle of something, and yeah, immediately I'm like, who, what, where, when, how? Lots of questions going through my mind. So that's another one that I would pick up and walk away and buy. Now we have And Then She Fell by Alicia Elliott. How does it start? How does it start? This is the Mohawk writer. So we've got a prologue, and we've got around the river bend mostly. I like that, because there's a suggestion that something might have gone wrong. Or Alice never seemed to hear the microwave beeping, not even when she was 3 feet away from it, feet propped on the kitchen table as she painted her toenails neon green. Now, again, I like that for its simplicity. I like that for the fact that this is something really relatable. It's kind of an everyday, well, it is for me. I like to paint my nails. But, you know, being at the microwave, waiting for the meal to happen, there's a mundanity to it, which, again, it's not openings to novels don't need to be all bells and whistles. But I'm seeing this relatable person and thinking, oh, you know, this is an everyday scene. What's going to happen? Yeah, good. Like that. And then we have Anne Enright. It's quite hard to say. Anne Enright, the Wren. There's lots of sounds there. What is her opening line in The Wren? Because the concept of this novel really struck me as being exciting. Okay, so this starts with the name Nell. There is a psychologist in Nevada called Russell T. Hulbert who is interested in the different ways people think. And that's it. So, you know, if the word psychologist is a trigger word, the fact that we're being, you know, maybe taken to Nevada, but maybe it's just his research, that's interesting, because that, again, reads almost like a non-fiction text. Yeah, that sounds like a kind of almost an academic voice. The idea of sort of passing on information to the reader, which I quite like. Yeah, good. What have we got here? The Maiden by Kate Foster. How does The Maiden start? This is a crime debut novel of the year. I would guess if I you know, before I looked, that it might be quite a big hook. Christian, the Tolbooth Jail, Edinburgh, October 1679. That isn't the opening sentence, that's just the context that they're giving at the beginning. So we're being told immediately where it is, when it is. Oh yes, the first line is, "You are sentenced to beheading." There we go. I don't know whether I would have, if I'd been in a bookshop and looked at that, I might have thought that was a bit unsubtle. So I'm intrigued to see what happens when I actually sit down and read this book, because you know, it's been longlisted. I trust these judges, so let's see what I think of that when I actually sit down and read it. Then we have Brotherless Night by V.V. Ganeshananthan. And this is, I think, one that's set in India. Could be wrong. Where are we? Let's have a look. Again, we've got a prologue. Aha! So we start actually in New York in 2009. Now that is a brilliant opening line to me. Anyway, this one of all of them is probably the one that would pull me in the most. I recently sent a letter to a terrorist I used to know. And I'm thinking, wow, you knew a terrorist. What's going on? It's New York. It's 2009. I'm immediately thinking of Twin Towers and all that kind of thing. I know that was obviously, you know, not 2009. So there we go. That's Brotherless Night. So far for me, that is the standout opening line. That's the one that I would want to go to first at the moment. Then we have Kate Grenville. Very beautiful, lovely colours on this cover. Restless, Dolly Maunder. And Kate Grenville, of course, is an Australian writer. And, oh, wow, I hadn't noticed that. Look at that. That is just beautiful. All sorts of fantastic birds. Okay, so this one, now we said, Simon and I said we didn't think there was much historical fiction, but clearly there is. That one was 1670 something, the new Maiden one. And this one is 1881, Currababoola, New South Wales. Oh, as soon as she could walk, she knew she wanted to be outside, moving. I like that, because that's immediately you're getting a sense of personality. I get the feeling that I'm going to get to know this woman. You know, she's completely anonymous there. We don't get a name. We just know that it's a female. But I think that idea of somebody, and you've got the word restless in the title, you know, and that idea of wanting to be moving pictures up that sense of restlessness. So that's a clever opening line, or at least the title's very clever, because it suggests that you're getting what it says on the tin. I'm really enjoying this. I think this is a really nice way. I wish I'd thought of this before, of sort of making decisions about which book to read first from a list like this. It's what I do in a bookshop every time I go in. But I hadn't thought about doing it to pick my next bit of reading from my shelves. So this one is Enter Ghost by Isabella Hammad. And this one is, I think, looks at Israel-Palestine. Nothing, very simple, no chapter heading, nothing like that. It just says one. Again, I really like this. I expected them to interrogate me at the airport, and they did. I love that idea of this powerful they. You know, we don't know who they are, but we can all guess. And, you know, that verb interrogate is immediately making me think all sorts of things. And the idea of entry as well, again, like the previous one, it kind of fits the title. You know, you're obviously passing a border or what have you. So that also has a very strong pull for me personally. Soldier Sailor by Claire Kilroy. Hopefully this is helping you. I really hope. Please let me know in the comments down below. I'm sure you will. If this is helping you in any way to make a decision about which of these books you might choose to read. So, Soldier Sailor, how does it start? Now, I feel like this is a bit harsh because we've got one and then the first sentence is a minor sentence. It's not kind of, it's just, well, sailor. I mean, how do I read that? Well, sailor, or well, sailor. I don't know until I read on. I like that. I think that's, especially again, because it's one of the words in the title, I think that's really clever because you sort of, it feels like you're in the middle of a conversation. Yeah, I really, that's making me want to pick that up and read it. Definitely. Okay, next we have 8 Lives of a Century-Old Trickster. Spy Lover Mother, if you remember, from the, when we picked out the long list. Quite a few of these are starting with prologues. I don't know how common that is in a novel. I've never really thought about it before, but I think that's quite interesting. The idea came to me while I was going through my divorce. I like that. That really hooks me in. And that's not just a first sentence, that's the first paragraph. You know, as if that's really, really important. So you get a sense that this idea is important. And I don't know about you, that makes me feel there's some kind of revenge element, perhaps, it's teasing me in with that idea of revenge. And I could well be right, but I could equally well be wrong. And I'm prepared to take the risk. I would pick that off a bookshelf. Okay, River East, River West by Aube Lescure. This is the one that's in Shanghai and Qingdao. Again, just very simply, just a 1. A man called Lu Fang stole Alva's mother in Grand Ballroom B of Shanghai's Imperial Hotel. I love that. The idea of stealing a mother. The idea of a ballroom, the idea of an imperial hotel, it all sounds very grand. I like the idea that I'm going somewhere very, very unfamiliar and possibly time travelling a little bit. That doesn't sound contemporary to me, but I could be really wrong. I hope I am wrong. So I think that, you know, that's definitely sucking me in completely to want to read this. In fact, I'm going to sit here and stare at it now. No, I'm not. Yeah, I like that. I love that idea. Immediately, you've got a sense of context for the reader. You know, I'm fleshing that out now with all sorts. I'm hearing lots of noise and bustle and excitement and probably elegant clothes, that kind of thing. This one, and actually that to me implies maybe a sense of humour as well. Like maybe just the way that line's written, the idea of stealing your mother, or was it grandmother? I can't remember already. Karen Lord, The Blue Beautiful World. This is the sci-fi meets eco novel. Again, just a simple 1. There's something quite futuristic about that font. It's the sort of thing that would splash across the front of a sci-fi series. Oh, now, this is a brilliant one. The emissary kept on digging his own grave, centimetre by centimetre, word by word. Now, that's not what you're expecting, is it, at the end of that sentence? You think it's going to be physically digging the grave, but it looks to me like it's more the idiom digging a grave, or rather the colloquialism. And the idea of digging your grave word by word suggests that it's something that the emissary is writing. That's got me interested. I want to read this one now. Sorry, I hope that didn't deafen you. Next up, Chetna Maroo, Western Lane. Yeah, that's like they're curled up fetally, aren't they, those two women? Okay, Chetna Maroo, what have you got for me? So again, just a 1. I don't know if you've ever stood in the middle of a squash court on the tee and listened to what's going on next door. Now that's nice because that's creating a really direct relationship with the reader. You've sort of got direct address there. I feel like the writer, I feel like the narrator is going to confide in me, because the narrator seems interested in me. They're asking me, well, not asking me a question, but they're getting me to think. I like that, and I haven't, so I don't know anything about squash. I've never stood on a squash court. So again, you know, it's that, like, that's a really good way. I don't know whether I would naturally have gravitated towards a novel about squash, you know, or with that as its background. I think that might be a little bit off-putting. And I think she's beautifully set that with that first sentence. That's clever. Next up, I better put my specs back on. Nightbloom by Peace Adzo Medie, or Medie, I don't know. Apologies. Beautiful cover. Feels nice in your hand, this book. This is the sort of book that I would gift somebody. There's something really lovely about the feel and shape of it. Again, just a simple chapter one. Oh, see, that's good as well. My mother said that she'd always known. Well, what? What had she always known? I want to know now. I want to find out what had the mother known. So that has teased me in. There are two more left here on this pile. What have we got here? Megan Nolan, Ordinary Human Feelings. Is there such a thing? I don't know. I suppose she's going to tell me. This is 1990 London. Oh, we've got a part one. I think this is probably the longest sentence we've had so far. And again, it's like a section on its own. Down below in Schuyler Square, the trouble was passing quickly from door to door. Mothers telling mothers, not speaking aloud, but somehow saying, baby gone, bad man, wild animal. That's got me. If I'm in the mood for something really pacey and plot driven, then I think I would turn to this. I would have this on my shelves, ready for that moment when I want that kind of pace and speed. Love that. And then finally, Pip Williams, A Trace of Sun. It's described as powerful and unflinching. We've got a part one. It's June 1960. So again, immediately we're told the context, at least in terms of time. Rafe sat on the crooked step, taking shade from the eye-squinting brightness of the midday Caribbean sun. So what the writer's doing there is whisking me off to a sunny place, which is where I am not right now. I mean, it's bright out there, but it's not sunny and warm. So again, there's something kind of comforting about that. I think if I'd bought this book and had it on my pile of books to read, I would be waiting for a moment where I wanted to be transported to somewhere warm, and I would know that this book would hopefully take me there. The cover suggests that as well, doesn't it? So that's really, really interesting. I think the ones that have stood out to me most, I'm just looking now, are probably, because I'm only going to pick up the books. I think it's these. I think if I was going to choose, you know, there's 5 there, so that's not going to be a book to start with, is it? But I think the 5 books I might head to first would be Soldier Sailor, Enter Ghost. Sorry, I'm getting it all over. 8 Lives of a Century-Old Trickster, River East, River West, and The Beautiful Mother. Oh, hang on there. I really like the opening of Brotherless Night as well. That was the first one I got really excited about in terms of the first line. So there's 6 there. So if I only read 6, and I'm hoping I'll do much better than that, but if I only read 6, I'm really hoping it's going to be, well, it will be, if provided, yeah, I can. It will be these 6, I think. That's really good. It's helped me to make my mind up about where to start. Oh no, I've got Meg Nolan here as well. I really like the opening to that, didn't I? I put that there too. Ordinary Human Feelings. So that's 7. So I hope you found that interesting. It certainly really has genuinely helped me know where to start in this wonderful heap of loveliness. I hope you are going to engage with the Women Prize if you can. Don't forget, you don't have to buy all the books. You can head to your library, you can order them. You can listen to them on Audible or Spotify or wherever you get your ebooks from, your audiobooks from, I should say. So happy reading, everyone. Please join in the discussion down below. I love reading your comments and finding out what's happening out there in the book world and how these books are going down with people. So do take care. Maybe I might do a video in the future about my favourite opening lines. I might, if that's something you would be interested in, you can let me know that down below as well. Can't get my words out now. 2 videos in one morning. It's obviously wiped me out. I better go down and see Simon because we haven't had breakfast yet. Because we've been so excited about opening this box. So do take care, everybody. Happy reading. See you soon. Bye.